Hey guys, HW. It's a Friday lunchtime, as per usual, and I'm down at Darling Harbour, or I'm on the Pyrmont Bridge, overlooking Darling Harbour, and the tourist shows across the water there, the aquarium, Madame Tussauds, and the wildlife zoo. And what I thought, because it was a pretty overcast sort of day in Sydney today, I thought I'd take a little stroll across the Pyrmont Bridge and head to the Sydney fish markets and see if I could do a little bit of filming in the fish markets. Being lunchtime, there should be some people around feasting on seafood. I might even grab some myself. So we'll see how we go. It's a bit of a breeze blowing, so hopefully my little furry dead cat that's on top of my microphone is going to stop that wind. But we'll see how we go. So as per usual, when you get on the Pyrmont Bridge over lunchtime, there's always people traversing between Pyrmont over there and Sydney City proper here. They could be passing between office buildings in Pyrmont and the city, or they could be tourists coming from the various hotels that you see over there on the skyscape. You can see the Ibis Hotel and the Novotel Hotel as well. And then the building next to it's the Sofitel. Everything's the tel. The Ibis Hotel, the Novotel, the Sofitel. So yeah, you'll get some tourists out of there using the Pyrmont Bridge to get over to the city to see what all the city's all about. Apart from the international tourists, there's a lot of tourism within Australia. So a lot of people will fly from some of the other capital cities into Sydney on the weekend to enjoy a little weekend away. So some of these people we can see on the bridge here will definitely make up some of that group. See, they've got the Ferris wheel operating. Oh yeah, there's a couple of people in there. What do you call them? Those things that hang off the Ferris wheel, are they called gondolas or something like that? I think they call them. Or little carriages. There's a couple of people in there. Just looking down at the Harbourside shopping centre there, which you can see with the atrium, the curved atrium in the middle behind the Ferris wheel. If you look down on the bottom where the reddish sort of brick is, you can see there's a few people huddled around tables in the restaurants and cafes down there, enjoying some lunch. I'm going to go under the Bridge Masters little what would you call it, little office. As per usual, when I walk into a suburb I haven't spoken about for a while, I usually check to see what the property prices are like. As we make our way into Pyrmont, it's a bit more difficult because it's mostly home units, apartments that dot Pyrmont. There are a few little terrace houses. A lot of them have become businesses now because of the proximity to the city. So you'll find little, you know, solicitors' offices in there and accountants and stuff like that. But overall, it reckons the average home value in Pyrmont is 1.7 million. But I dare say that would mostly be home units. Any terrace this close to the city would be going to be worth a lot more than that. Be looking at, you know, a couple of million at least to start off with, probably a pretty run-down one. So yeah, thinking about like a two-bedroom unit in Pyrmont, you'd be at least hitting the $1 million mark to grab one of those. But have a look in the city real estate pages yourself, realestate.com or Domain. See what you can find out.
But I clearly look at the numbers and I say, ultimately,
So we come up to this set of traffic lights, we can see the Pyrmont Hotel, or the Pyrmont Bridge Hotel. I've been in there a couple of times over my life, and there's a few people up the back of the hotel in the, I guess that would be the sort of outside eatery at the back there. Oh yeah, and up the top there as well, there's a guy up there just sculling down a schooner. It's just a nice little spot near Darling Harbour to have a drink and something to eat. Kebab shop, situated in a pretty good spot next to a hotel. Pizzeria, Thai food. That looks like a poker machine hall in there. It's the back of the Star Casino there. Up there you can see the Star listed. Be one of the properties connected to the back of the casino, no doubt. Yeah, but look here, you can see in Pyrmont all the apartment buildings. Oh, there's a nice view of the city behind us. You can see Centrepoint Tower, the Summit building, the circular one. Yeah, so there's heaps of these sort of style apartment buildings in Pyrmont, which are fairly, well, relatively speaking, with the history of Sydney, they're fairly new, because prior to those ones being built, it was mostly terrace houses. Oh, there's a pink car. Yeah, look at all those apartment buildings in there. Even up here, this would have been a commercial building at one point that's been turned into apartments as well. What I was going to say about that pink car is we have a little competition with the kids when we're in the car, that if they can spot a pink car, which is not always easy, so that's why I mentioned that pink car Couldn't help myself. Competition's ingrained. Something going on down there. Cops outside the casino busting someone. So you saw how we just crossed over that Pyrmont Bridge, and all of the hotels were in the foreground, like the Ibis and the Novotel and all that. It just goes to show you it's pretty easy if you want to come to the Sydney fish markets yourself. Pretty easy just to stroll down this road here, which is the Pyrmont Bridge Road, and make your way down to the fish market. Oh, there you go. There's some of those terraces that I spoke about in Pyrmont. So you can see those different coloured terraces in the across the road there. So that's what Pyrmont used to be, full of those sort of terraces back in the day. But as I said, a lot of them have been taken over by different construction now. Apartment buildings, and yeah, look at the size of the casino, how much room that's taken up. There's a few office towers around here as well. I remember there used to be a few like accounting businesses, accounting software businesses around here. And I think Channel 10 has a television station, has a building around here as well. It's a nice old building over across the road over there. Would have been some sort of old warehouse back in the early 1900s, I'd say. I don't know what it is now. It looks like it might be apartments. This is always a pretty busy road, Pyrmont Bridge Road, because a lot of people use it to get into Darling Harbour, Haymarket, Chinatown, and then obviously the casino as well. So what's that? That's like about the third hotel we've crossed already. So there's the Quarryman. We crossed the Pyrmont Bridge Hotel before. Now we're crossing the Dunkirk Hotel. A few people in there. The empty beer keg sitting outside. It's a bottle shop. What do you guys call them overseas? Off licenses? So you can see we're getting closer to the fish market now. You can see that blue sign on the medium strip there, indicating to traffic coming from the Darling Harbour precinct that you've got to turn right up here to get into the fish market's car park. Now every single time I've ever come here, I've gone into the car park, so I suspect it's I might be going in a different entrance coming on foot, but we'll have to wait and see. Now bear in mind when we do get to the fish markets, we're only going to be seeing, you know, mums and dads buying their fish and chips for the weekend, or their seafood for the weekend, or people just having lunch there. All of the commercial stuff happens like at the crack of dawn, early in the morning, in an auction house part of the building, where they auction off all the main seafood to the big, you know, the big distributors, the big wholesalers, the big retailers. So you won't see that. You can actually buy a tour to do that. You can actually see the back of the fish market over there. You can see some fishing nets. So that's where we're going. So just seeing that this road's pretty busy, I'm going to switch off the camera here. Oh no, here we go. We've got the... Oh no, we don't. So here we are at the entrance to the fish market now. So let's see what we can see. They have these umbrellas out the back where you can bring your lunch and sit and eat next to the water. See what we can film. See a few people smashing some seafood here at Nicholas. Got a fruit market as well over there. Oh, here we go. Here's the back of that Nicholas seafood. Let's see what they've got. Some crab legs there. Some lobsters. Some scampi. I love scampi. Blue swimmer crab. Delicious. Prawns. Some bigger whiting. I love whiting. Delicious. Some mussels. Flounder. Octopus. Look at the size of those snappers there. Oh, and some barramundi, just some small ones there. Now we're getting into sort of a bit of a food market where everyone's having their lunch. We'll go into another one of the seafood joints here. This is Peter's Seafood. There's some more scampi. Delicious. Crab legs. Prawns. Some more mussels. Some octopus. Delicious. Look at those octopus, lobster, look at the lobster in there. I see some abalone stuck to the side of the tank there. Beautiful. Some more snapper. Mussels, and you can come here and just grab one of these tables and start smashing through your seafood. Here they cook the food for you while you wait. A barbecue grill there. I used to go there back in the day. Used to grab half a lobster with chips. And sometimes I grab some oysters Kilpatrick. Some delicious oysters over here. Some Pacific oysters, Sydney rock oysters. A few people enjoying the boat shed here for their seafood. So if you come outside into the parking lot, there's actually a few more outlets out here where you can grab your seafood. There's that boat shed again. You can see some security over there in the distance. Try not to go next to them. We start complaining. And here's another Claudio's where you can come and grab some seafood as well. If you don't want to go into the main complex, you can come over there, grab your prawns or oysters or whatever it is that you're trying to buy. So as I said, this is where I usually come. I usually park in here and then grab my seafood in from the main part. So there's even, if you see that red building over there, that's actually a meat market over there. So selling beef and sausages and chicken, all that sort of stuff. And so yeah, over here there's a few more outlets where you can come and buy your seafood. Again, if you don't want to go into the main section of the fish market. Here's some of the loading docks on the back where, you know, obviously after the auctions in the early hours of the morning, they'll come there and pick up the bulk of their orders in those big containers that you can see over there. Let's go back to where we came from and have another walk through, see what we can see. You can see that's the Anzac Bridge in the background there. That provides a bit of a hurdle when you're trying to get to the fish market, because there's always a lot of traffic coming off that, and there's only really one way that you can get into the fish market. I think you got to turn either right or left off that Pyrmont Bridge road. Let's go back through. Which way should we go? Oh, let's go back where we came from, because there's a lot more action in there. Be able to see some of that delicious seafood again. There you go, there's a Sydney Seafood Festival on Sunday the 25th of September. Live entertainment, cooking, demonstrations. Might be a place to come. People picking up their orders. Getting crowded in here now. Back to Nicholas Seafood again. We'll have another look at all this delicious seafood. What do we got over here? Turban shell. Some sardines. Some black mussels. They even have a deli over here as well, where you can have a coffee or pick up some jelly meats. So shucking some oysters. It's lifelong. Some lobster platters that you can get. Lobster mornay. This guy's smashing some crab's legs. So yeah, a few people enjoying their lunch down there. Now the fish market is a lot bigger, and as I said, a lot of it's closed off because a lot of the auctions happen in the early hours of the morning, where the general public don't get to see it unless they pay for one of those tours. So it looks like they're looks like from these signs that they're getting ready to redevelop it as well, which is long overdue. So it's a pretty fancy looking design there, and it's over a number of levels, so it'll be good when they've done that. So yeah, quick skirt around the fish markets. Now, what I need to do now badly is I need to find a nectar. So let's go back into the city and I'll find another nectar shop to stop at, coffee shop, and get my flat white. So yeah, see you again soon. If I can turn the camera off. Just standing outside the back of the old Harbourside shopping centre at Darling Harbour. Just went in there to use the restroom. Wow, very sad. Full on tumbleweeds blowing through that joint. You can see this shuttered up ice cream shop here. So yeah, obviously there's a long way to go for the Australian tourism industry to get the tourists back. But hey, let's look on the bright side. We'll just turn the corner back onto Pyrmont Bridge. And look at the beautiful Sydney City in the background there, or the foreground. It's a beautiful sight. Our old sitters, as I like to call it. We'll stop and get a panning view of all of the buildings. Contrary to what usually happens when I turn on my camera, which is everyone disappears, today everybody's appearing as I turn on my camera. So yeah, over the back of that W building there is Haymarket and Chinatown, and then we'll start capturing some of these office buildings here. So back of the Hyatt Regency there, some more of the buildings, old Telstra Exchange there, and then all the new developments of Barangaroo just there, and then obviously the Telltale Crown Tower or Crown Casino Tower there. I think last time I walked across this bridge I lost my microphone signal and there was no audio, or there was like really poor audio, so hopefully today it's a bit better. Yeah, so we're lucky the sun's starting to come out as well. Let's have a look over here into Darling Harbour, or the entrance to Darling Harbour. See King Street Wharf over there. People hoovering up burgers and ribs and all sorts of food over there. Bit of seafood as well. get over the other side and film the view into Cockle Bay, the Cockle Bay Wharf. So there's a few restaurants over there as well down the bottom there. Nick's Seafood is one that's down the bottom there that I used to go to. I think I've mentioned that in a previous video as well. But yeah, I can see, you probably can't see on the camera, but it's pretty packed by the looks of it. The old Nick's Seafood down there. Is it, now I'm questioning myself. Is it Nick's or Peter's? Maybe it's Peter's Seafood. Oh, it's either Nick's or Peter's. I can't remember which one it is, but you know, St. Peter, St. Nicholas, it's one of those ones. It's one of the saints. So yeah, I think we'll just have a look over Darling Harbour here just quickly, and then I'll find this damn nectar joint, have my coffee, and then I'll say goodbye to you there. So hang around to check out which coffee joint I go to. See you soon. So here we are. We're in a bit of a laneway behind the Westfield in Sydney. That's Castlereagh Street just there, and we're outside the Gucci shop at the back of the Westfield. And I'm drinking, can you see that? Toby's Estate. It's not a bad roaster. Oh, by the way, here's Prada here as well, and here's the entrance to the coffee shop. I don't know what it's called. I don't know whether they just call themselves Toby's Estate or what. But yeah, I used to come here occasionally when I worked in the city. So yeah. How posh am I? Having a flat white outside the Gucci store and the Prada store. Look out. There's a few people getting around. I might leave the camera rolling for a little bit, facing towards Castlereagh Street, and see what we can see. Tilt the camera up a bit though first, if I can. There we go. So there's my nectar. Cheers. Let's get this down. Oh, delicious. Oh, I'm gulping it down. Yeah, that's a sensational coffee. So remember this joint. So outside Gucci, Prada, in here, outside the back of the Westfield entrance in Castlereagh Street. But let's flip around, and that's the entrance into the actual Westfield there. So a few people joining me at this coffee shop. So yeah, just look out for the Toby's Estate sign, which is like just sitting outside of the Castlereagh Street over there. If you want to find this joint, it's a bit hidden away. That's what I like about it. They're my favourite coffee shops. Ones that are hidden away a bit from the crowd. And I certainly wouldn't go into any of those chain stores if I can help it. Maybe some of the smaller chains, but you definitely wouldn't catch HW in a Starbucks or a Gloria Jeans or something like that. There's too many good coffee shops in Australia, too many good independents where you can get a good nectar no matter where you go. I'm just looking up YouTube here because I want to answer somebody's question from the previous video, which was Sydney Underground. So I promised I'd have a look when I came back into the city. So let's get the comments open. There they are. So shout out to insert name here, who sent me a message 5 days ago mentioning that there was a walk bridge between the MLC Centre at Martin Place and the H&M building. Well, I can tell you firsthand there's not anymore. So thank goodness I cut that out of the tour. That would have been embarrassing if we walked all the way there and there was no bridge to get across to MLC Centre. So yeah, insert name here. No walk bridge between the H&M store, which was the old glass house, and the MLC Centre anymore. So I don't know whether they're going to rebuild it once they've finished the Sydney Metro. I'm not too sure. You'd think they probably would. Surely they're going to put a tunnel maybe underneath that goes into the Westfield. I'd be very surprised if they didn't. Someone check out the plans and tell me what the go is. So yeah, I might flip the camera around, just put my sunglasses back on even though we're in the dark, and just say sayonara from the Toby's estate outside the Prada and Gucci shop. It's HW over and out. The video is over.